One. Hey guys, welcome back to My Game On's live streaming lounge on Facebook, and I'm still right here at Nexus Connection, Bangsa South for Level Up 2018. And as you guys can see in this live, I've got 4 beautiful girls, and no guys, they're not Blackpink. I'm sorry to break it to you. They were hoping to see some K-pop girl band here. Oh, 4 girls are gonna be here. No, they're not K-pop. They're not a K-pop girl band. And no, they're not gamers as well. I mean, they are, but technically they are here because they are amazing girl game developers. Woo! How come tak kuat the jeritan? Come on, guys. You guys can do better than that, guys. Woo! Exactly. This is girl power. Okay, and let me introduce each and one of them. We've got Lee Yin over here.
Hi.
She is from Malaysia. And then we've got Fakhra over here from Abu Dhabi.
Hello.
Welcome. We've got Anisa here. And she's a Malaysian, but she's based in the UK. And we've got Gwen over there from Singapore. So since we only have 2 mics, we're going to play the game of pass, 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 pass. Okay, that's how we do it in Malaysia lah, okay?
That's our own mini game.
Sorry?
That's our own mini game.
That's your mini game. That's why we love it so much that we're injecting that in this live stream. There you go. But perhaps Lee Ying, you could formally introduce yourself to people out there, Lee Ying.
Okay, hi, my name is Lee Ying Fu. I'm a game artist / UI artist from a local Malaysian indie game development team called Kaigan Games. And we've made 2 games out on mobile and PC called Simulacra. It's a found phone horror game, and also another game called Simulacra Pipe Dreams, which is already just recently released.
Wonderful. Fakhra.
Awesome. So my name is Fakhra Mansouri. I'm a game designer, and I run a game studio back home in Abu Dhabi called Hybrid Humans. It's actually the first independent game studio in the country. So hopefully we get to see more of those.
Yes, definitely. All right. I don't know if it fits. You know what? It's okay. I'll just take this one.
Hi, I'm Anisa Sanusi, and I'm based in London in the UK, where I've been calling my home for the last 9 years. But I am born and bred in PJ. I'm a user experience designer for video games.
And last but not least, Gwen.
Hi, I'm Gwen from Singapore. So I run IMBA Interactive, and we are a small studio that provides game audio solutions to all sorts of video games.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And this segment is going to be very international because, as I said earlier, we've got Gwen from Singapore, Anisa from Malaysia but based in the UK. We've got Fakhra from Abu Dhabi as well as Lee Ying from Malaysia. So let's start this session with asking you girls, how did you actually start wanting to become a game developer? Starting from you, Lee Ying.
So I grew up playing a lot of experience-based game, and I, as an artist, wanted to create worlds so that people could experience them. And one of my most meaningful experiences were in games, so I want to give that back to people, create meaningful and experienceful games. So.
For me, I grew up playing video games, all sorts of consoles and games, but I never thought like I can make them. I thought unicorns made games because like that I was never exposed to them. So like very late in life, 2011 was the first time I got introduced to video games, and I fell in love with it. I wanted to do every bit of it. So yeah, I've been doing it ever since.
So obviously I grew up playing video games as well, and I was going to go into computer animation. That was my degree in the UK. Once I graduated, I worked in animation for a little bit, and then my skill set from animation was transferable into video games as a 2D artist, but then I found my niche in UI art and now UX design in video games.
I think like 2 of you, everybody, I played games since young. And I also picked up DJing and music production when I was in high school. So it was very natural for me to marry both of those interests together.
This is great. I think that what amazes me is the fact that not only do we have a lot of new female gamers in the industry, but as well as game developers. Because as we all know, the gaming industry is huge. And it does not just comprise of esports players, but also people in the back end. And these are the ladies among the people who are actually bringing all these huge games to you guys. And are there, okay, let's go around the globe, shall we? So we start with Abu Dhabi. Yeah. So Fakhra, is there a huge stereotype in Abu Dhabi, perhaps when it comes to female in the gaming industry? Is it something foreign for people in Abu Dhabi when they see that, oh, there's a female game developer or there's a female gamer in the industry? What is your say on that?
I think that's very common. It happens anywhere in the world. They think we either play Barbie games or make Barbie games. There's nothing wrong with that too. But I think that is like the biggest stereotype, that people put us in a box because they think girls can only enjoy that type of game or game style. And it's ridiculous. Like, we love everything. I like one of my favorite titles, like God of War, because Kratos is freaking awesome. I don't really do esports because I don't care for that competitiveness, but give me Mario Kart and I'll try to kick your ass, because I will.
I have no doubt on that. That's why I'm actually being very polite here. If you compare to my previous live sessions, I very buy it because I know these girls are no jokes, basically. You know, if I mess with them, because in fact, Fakhra gave me a tagline for all these 4 girls before we started the live. Yeah, Fakhra, what are all of your taglines?
We make games and we play games.
There you go. We make games and we play games and we make games. Wow, I'm impressed. Ling, in Malaysia, I think this topic has been talked about quite a lot already, and I think stereotypes, like Fakhra mentioned, it happens everywhere. But what about in Malaysia itself? What do you think? Do you think that people still find it hard to accept girls in this gaming industry, or it's actually easier than we expect?
I think there are still people who stereotype women in video games, and I think a lot of people think that when you put women and then make video games, we ruin video games in a sense. Yeah, a lot of people think that somehow we ruin video games, but no, that's not the case. We're humans, we love games and we make games and we like playing games. So the kind of games that we make would just be more perspective, multi-dimensional writing, and from different kinds of experiences. That's all that we bring to the table, which is very important for games.
Who in the right mind are saying all these things about girls are going to ruin video games? Guys, please, what nonsense is this? Now let's jump to the UK pula. All right, Anisa, what is your take on that?
Oh, that is so silly. Like, okay, so the take of like women ruining games for men, that is number one, very dumb, and number two, extremely untrue, because your games are still there. Your God of Wars, your first-person shooters, your football games, they're not going anywhere. They're still there. But now we're making more games that is going to be, you know, everyone else can play. Like, it's not just you guys. There's us girls who want to play like more interesting games as well. And we're just, you know, with more female game developers coming into industry, there'll be more diverse games, and there'll just be way more games to play. And you know what? Maybe you guys can try our games.
And I think games should never be a gender-sensitive thing, you know? I mean,
Definitely not.
perhaps before this, the gaming industry was known for being a very male-dominant industry, but I think we are slowly turning the tables because of people like you guys, and that's great. Keep on going. And last but not least, Gwen.
Yeah, I think it's very important to have more females in the games industry, and really, like all of them said, diversity is so important in creating more different kinds of games. We're not saying that the usual violent or sports games are bad. It's just that we can have more of other kinds of games. And I think specifically for esports, I think we need to stop objectifying women who play esports. I mean, a lot of women are being scrutinized for their physical appearance when they're in esports, and some of these things are prevalent even in game dev, you know. So when it's not about accepting, I think we are accepted in the games industry, but whether we are welcome or not is a different thing.
If we have men in this one also, oh my god, it's going to be like some heated debate, you know. But don't worry, guys. I am supporting you guys 110%, you know. So I'm like in the middle of like 2 bunch of girls here, and 4 bunch of girls, and ooh, it's really intense. So, is getting a job in the gaming industry difficult for women these days, or is it not? Because I can assure you there's still a lot of viewers on our Facebook Live right now who are women who are very much interested in joining you guys, being just like you guys, being game developers, but they are wondering what are the chances of them getting the job. Anisa.
Your chances are the same as all your guy peers. Seriously, we do not discriminate based on gender. We do get hired based on merit. What we want is to have more people to choose from. So it's a case of getting more women in the interview pool in the first place. You know, you will go through the same exact tests and interviews and things like that. You know, we will hire the best talent that we have out there.
Regardless of the gender.
Regardless of gender, definitely. So It's only yourself if you think you have to prove yourself against men. It's more that, you know, if you have the talent, you have the skills, then you will get the job.
Right. Now, since we've got 4 game developers here, I want to know, how do you guys actually come up with these new ideas to come up with new games? I mean, are there like those, you know how film directors or like all these music producers, they will have like this epiphany, that one time where, oh yes, I've got the ilham, I've got the light, you know, like I know what to do, the inspiration, exactly. So how does it work for developers, for gaming developers? Because we've got some great games out there and the backstory sometimes is super interesting. So what can you comment about that, Gwen?
I think for me as a sound designer and composer, which is essentially providing services for video games, is that it is very important what kind of media you consume is also quite diverse, you know, because as a creator, like, you want to make games that appeal to not just one demographic, but several demographics, and like, yeah, don't just watch or read one kind of thing, and it really, really influences your creativity in terms of how much you can expand on the horizons of your creative juices behind the work that you do, you know.
Yeah.
Read more things. Do things that are not video games. That's how you get inspiration. Things that are not video games. Why would you, recycle ideas that's already been done before in other video games when you could look outside of your bubble, see other people who have different hobbies. People are different from you. That's how you get inspiration to do something different. Wow.
Bingo.
For the inspiration for us, like, it depends really on the projects that we do. It might come from an idea or from a story or from something that we want to represent our local culture. One story I can tell you about, like a game that we made, we put 2 words on the board, like competitive and showing off. And like, we wanted to make a game that focuses on these 2 emotions. Like, what kind of game ideas do we want to make that makes players play competitively and they want to show off their items, their loot, their whatever in the game. And we made a racing game based on those 2 words. So it really depends on project by project basis, but finding inspiration from outside of video games is very, very important. Like, who can say playing video games is a research to them? I think only game developers can say that. That's freaking awesome. And finding resources from outside is very important.
I think another thing is that video games are made by one person. They're made by a collective of people who want to develop games. And sometimes it's one person has an idea and we all talk about it and we all form like a concrete idea, and then another thing that's also important is user testing. We test a lot of things before we finally push something out, yeah. And that's how ideas are created.
Perfect. Thank you very much, ladies, for joining us at My Game On's live streaming lounge. It was wonderful hearing the inspirational stories from these 4 ladies. So, hope you guys enjoyed this live session. See, I'm just so dumbfounded by what you guys have shared with me. Sampai terbelit-belit my lidah now, okay? Alright guys, thank you for joining us. But stay put, we've got another live streaming session only on My Game On's Facebook page.